Tonight on CBS 42 News at 6, a shocking find at a closed Birmingham City school. Plus,
so you think he's yelling help?
Yes.
All right, what is your...
a judge makes a key decision in the George Zimmerman trial just days before it begins. And
we don't want one ruling to eliminate 50 years of progress.
We head out to Calera for a voting rights rally as the Supreme Court prepares to issue a ruling. We begin tonight with developing news out of Birmingham, where police are on the scene of an active shooting. Our Chris Womack is live on the scene in West Birmingham. So, Chris, what can you tell us?
Well, Shanice, because this investigation is still ongoing, the police aren't telling us much right now. But here's what we do know. Just before 4:45 this afternoon, Birmingham police responded to a call at 824 Graymont Avenue West. There, they found a 56-year-old man suffering from a gunshot wound. Police say he was injured during an attempted robbery. According to police, there are currently 3 suspects on the loose. The victim was taken to UAB. He was listed in stable condition. Now, there was another incident just a few blocks away from here. Captain Henry Irby tells us that is being classified as an assault at this time, and no word on if these 2 cases are related. Of course, we'll keep you updated with the latest details as they become available. Shanice, back to you.
Chris, thank you. In other news, student records were found inside an old school building, and it has neighbors worried that personal information on former students may be in jeopardy. CBS 42's Tiffany Westry joins us live in the newsroom. Tiffany, you stopped by the school today, so what did you find?
Well, Shanice, Banks Middle School has been an eyesore in the community since it was closed in 2007, and what to do with the school has sparked former alumni and a city council hopeful to take a look inside that building, and what they found was more alarming than the overgrown trees and trash and graffiti that's on the outside.
Some want it torn down, others want to transform it. What to do with the old Banks Middle School building prompted a city council hopeful and Banks alumni to take a look inside.
There were documents there that had social security numbers and names, enough information to really do some damage to someone.
This is video recorded by Richard Rutledge inside Banks Middle School. He says what you're looking at are piles of student records.
Personal files, health forms, unsecured in the back of the school.
The no trespassing signs and locks on the gates haven't done much to keep people out.
Every gate was open, doors were unlocked. You don't have to turn a doorknob to get from the street to the back of where these documents are.
Graffiti on the walls, broken windows, and trash have all taken a back seat to what's inside the building.
Attendance rosters.
Okay.
With social security numbers.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Once owned by the Birmingham City School System, the building is now the property of the city of Birmingham.
Frankly, I am as upset as I'm sure some of the people who went to Banks School are upset.
Virginia Volker represents District 2 on the Birmingham School Board. She says there are procedures in place to deal with sensitive material when schools are closed.
And I am just really disgusted that nobody went through the building and checked and removed what should have been removed.
Volker says she's been told there will be increased patrols around the building by the Birmingham Police Department over the next few days.
Now, Tiffany, is there any word on when the school board or the city plans to secure the building or actually remove those documents?
Well, Shanice, Michelle Chapman, a spokeswoman for the Birmingham City School System, says that the Birmingham City School System will coordinate with the city to determine if any student records remain in the building and take those records to a secure storage location.
Tiffany, thank you. Well, summer is finally here. The first official weekend of the season is bringing some sunshine. Meteorologist Mark Prater's in today. Mark, a nice day to hit the pool, maybe a barbecue. What do you think?
Yeah, anything outside. It's a little hot, but it's summer, and we expect that this time of the year. There are showers and a few thunderstorms across South Georgia back into the Florida Panhandle, but across Alabama, as well as or at least a good portion of it, back into Georgia, we're in pretty good shape. We will stay dry for tonight, but there are some changes that are underway, and some of that will be in the form of a southerly flow. So that means the winds out of the south will start to increase and help spread moisture across the state. Once we get a little more muggy, there's more water in the air, and that water can be put to good use in the form of showers and a few thunderstorms. Not everybody getting rain, but the potential will be there for Sunday. Much more, though, about the work week next week. There are some changes to talk about there, as well as possibly headed into the mid-90s for highs. I'll have all that for you coming up in just a bit. Shan?
Thanks, Mark. Authorities are trying to identify the body of a man found dead this morning in Birmingham. The body was found with a gunshot wound at the intersection of Alameda Avenue and 17th Way Southwest around 2:45 this morning. The Jefferson County Coroner's Office is performing an autopsy. A Florida judge issued a key ruling today ahead of George Zimmerman's murder trial, which will begin on Monday. Christina Muchler has the details on the latest development, which could bring some big changes for both sides in this highly anticipated trial.
A huge decision just days before the start of George Zimmerman's murder trial.
So you think he's yelling help?
Yes.
All right, what is your...
A Florida judge ruled Saturday 2 experts' opinions of that 911 call, recorded the night Zimmerman killed Trayvon Martin, will not be allowed at the trial. It's a victory for the defense team, which argued the quality is not good enough to determine who is heard yelling in the background. Audio analysts Alan Reich and Tom Owen were 2 of the prosecution's witnesses.
The screams don't match at all. So that's what tells me that, okay, it's not George Zimmerman of the screams that I presented.
But the audio can still be played at the trial. Witnesses familiar with Martin's and Zimmerman's voices, including their families, could be called to testify.
He's got something in his hands. I don't know what his deal is. They always get away.
Are you following him?
Yeah.
6 women are set to decide whether Zimmerman acted in self-defense that night, as he claims, or if he is a murderer. Tracy Martin says he wants justice for his son's death.
It's not okay for vigilantes to kill our kids and get away with it.
With the trial starting Monday, another major question. Will Zimmerman take the stand and testify in his own defense? For CBS 42 News, I'm Christina Muchler.
Miles College is one of the Magic City's most beloved institutions, and now the school has reached a new milestone. The college is accredited by the Southern Association of College and Schools Commission. This opportunity only comes once every 10 years and requires years of self-evaluation and improvement. College President Dr. George French Jr. says the long process has made an already respected school in the community that much better.
The SACS accreditation is huge. It really is, because going through 3.5 years of looking at ourselves in the mirror, determining what we can do better and how we can make ourselves better is significant.
Accreditation not only determines the quality of an educational program, but it also is needed for a school to receive a title for federal funding. Some local thespians are exiting stage left and donning a different kind of garb today. Members of the Red Mountain Theater Company rolled up their sleeves as they took a break from their production of 42nd Street to help beautify, you guessed it, 42nd Street. The cast is joining the South Avondale Neighborhood Association to plant shrubbery and flowers at Avondale Park. Executive Director Keith Cromwell says the company was honored to be invited to participate.
Really, it's just about getting out and enjoying these amazing parks and helping people realize that these parks are so beautiful and a great way to get active.
And if you would like to check out the actors on the stage, the Red Mountain production of 42nd Street runs through August. Still ahead, a community is coming together to form a new chapter on the NAACP as they await a key Supreme Court ruling. And produce is usually better when you grow it yourself. We'll tell you about a new community garden. And LaRon McClain is back in Tuscaloosa for his annual youth football camp. We'll hear from the former Alabama player later in sports. The U.S. Supreme Court could issue a ruling in a case that ensures voting rights for citizens of Shelby County as early as this week. The recent controversy has inspired neighbors in Shelby County to create their own branch of the NAACP. Now, organizers of the movement say having a branch will help protect civil rights in their community and hope to gain members at meetings like this one. The city of Calera is hoping to get out from under Section 5 of the 1965 Voting Rights Act. The case was argued before the court in February. Supporters of Section 5 believe it to be the strongest legislation to pass during the civil rights era.
We want this as a peaceful thing. This is something to just to create a voice for the people that can't speak for themselves. You know, a voice for what's right, a voice for what this country has been fighting for the last 50 years, equality. And we don't want one ruling to eliminate 50 years of progress.
Section 5 requires any governing body under the Act to clear all changes that have to do with elections with the U.S. Justice Department prior to putting those changes into action. The City of Calera argues Section 5 is outdated and that society has integrated to such a degree that there is no need to continue with the restrictions. Well, when it comes to fresh vegetables, they usually taste the best when you grow them yourself, but that can be difficult in many neighborhoods. Now neighbors in the Smithfield Manor community are encouraged to get out and grow their own produce in a common location. Lewis McCarthy sees the garden as a way to get the community back on their feet after a rough transition following the April 27th tornadoes. Mark, every year I say this is going to be the year I'm going to start a garden. And it never happens.
I can walk through a greenhouse and things wilt. I just don't have the touch.
I don't either. What's up with that?
I don't know. I think there are some people gifted with that green thumb.
Yeah.
We're not them.
That's unfortunate.
But the weather's, it's now turning to where it's that time of the year, good time to be planting your garden. So get ready. It's about to heat up. How about some temperatures in the low 90s? As a matter of fact, touched 90 today in Tuscaloosa. Our view over downtown Birmingham this evening, though, beautiful. Little hazy, but not too bad, all things considered. The air is still fairly dry, but it will become more humid as we go through our day tomorrow. Our first weekend of summer has been a good start so far. Temps will start heating up and scattered thunderstorms are back on the agenda for tomorrow. Not a guarantee that we'll see rain, but the possibility will be there. A lot of events going on around the area, especially with the bike races out there at Barber. Take a poncho or an umbrella with you just as backup because these thunder showers pop up, good downpour, then they're over with. 88 now in Tuscaloosa, 85 in Birmingham, low 80s from Springville back into Oneonta. So a rather comfortable evening now shaping up for those of you in Blount and St. Clair counties. Mid 80s from Gadsden back down into Anniston. Throughout the southeast, showers have been sparse, just scattered mainly. And we've had a decent amount of air that's parked on top of us that's not allowing development of showers yet. But that southerly flow that I talked about earlier, that will start to bring in more moisture, and eventually we'll start to see the clouds building, and a few of those will build into a few afternoon thunderstorms, usually raining themselves out after about 15 to 20 minutes. So it's not going to be a real big rain event for Sunday, but the chance of scattered thunderstorms with temperatures near 90, partly cloudy, humid, you know the routine. That's what we'll be on track for over the next several days. Throughout our day tomorrow, rain chances are actually through our day today. It's been pretty good, but then throughout our day on Sunday, the chance of a shower or thunder shower pops up at random. Even though the model data may paint your county, doesn't necessarily guarantee it. Our forecast models really struggle with the summertime weather pattern, trying to pinpoint who will get what. It's really a crapshoot, and that will be the case throughout the day tomorrow. And then it carries right into Monday. Check this out, a little more widespread scattered thunderstorms. There will be areas where we're not necessarily looking at rain. Temperatures as we go through the overnight hours tonight into early tomorrow morning. As you head out the door to church, temperatures will be right around 70 to 71 degrees, and then a warm up throughout the day. Expect highs near 88 to 90 degrees area wide, but that scattered thunder shower or two could make a difference as far as temperatures go as we get later into the afternoon. So our forecast over the next 3 days shapes up like this. Highs in the low 90s, anywhere from 90 to 92 through Tuesday. Temperatures in the low 70s for the overnight hours, which is a good indication that there's more moisture. It will be more humid, and that chance of an afternoon shower or thunderstorm looks likely, or at least scattered throughout the next 7 days. Not a whole lot of change there. That looks an awful lot like summer.
It sure does. All right, thanks, Mark. Well, still ahead, they love their bikes and they also love kids, so it's a very special day when these bikers can bring both together. But coming up next, we'll go out to Barber Motorsports Park for the first round of high-speed racing. Stay with us. What do you get when you bring together a love for Harley-Davidson motorcycles and a passion for quilting? Well, it may sound like an odd combo, but you get $2,400 that will make sure a summer to remember for some very special children. The Heart of Dixie Motorcycle Club raffled off this beautiful quilt today to raise money for a cause that is very close to their hearts. They'll be able to send 3 children with muscular dystrophy to a camp designed specifically for them. What a great cause. And Lauren, speaking of camp, a lot of summer football camps are starting today.
Yes, and people are getting revved up for that, plus fall football camp right around the corner. Now, one of the Tide's top recruits for the class of 2013, Robert Foster, hopes to get a head start on fall ball. Bama Online reports the wide receiver is expected to be cleared next week in time for the second summer session at Alabama. Now, nearly 200 young football players came out to Tuscaloosa High School this morning to be coached up by LaRon McClain. Even better, it was completely free. The former Alabama fullback said he enjoys giving back to the community.
It feels awesome to be out here. You know, my old stomping ground, Tuscaloosa County High. Just blessed to be in the position to come back and give back to my community, you know, by having this annual camp. You know, this is my 6th year doing it, turning out better each year. More and more kids are coming, and I appreciate all the parents for bringing their kids out.
Another football camp going on today at Minor High School. Marcel Darius and Ladarius Owens taking part in the Nick Bell Mentoring Memorial Foundation Camp. Bell was a former Mississippi State player that passed away in 2010 from a rare form of cancer. Now, the Triumph Classic Superbike races kicked off today with the GoPro Daytona Sport Bike Race and the Super Sport R1. Then the Superbikes took the track for the National Guard Superbike race. Josh Hayes earned the provisional pole, but would take a 5-second penalty right off the start. But that was just a small setback. He battled his way back into the lead to take the win in race 1 today at Barber.
When you cross the finish line, you're not quite sure if you won or not because you have to wait another 5 seconds to see if somebody's going to cross the line first. So mentally, it's really tough because it's kind of like practice and qualifying. You're just out there racing against the time, the stopwatching yourself, and you're not really racing against somebody, which is different from what
Hayes swept at Barber last year. He will go for win number 2 tomorrow with hopes of climbing to the top of the point standings. Now, Elena Myers was sitting 8th in the GoPro Daytona Sport Bike standings, but unfortunately won't be making a move this weekend. Yesterday, she had an accident during qualifying and ended up with a broken arm. She stopped in the media center today to update us on her condition.
I got another x-ray this morning at the local urgent care in Trussville, and they said it was broken. I sent the x-ray over to my orthopedic doctor in California, and he said that it was, and that we're planning to do surgery on Tuesday morning to put a plate in and looking to come back from Mid-Ohio.
Seems like she's in good spirits. Now, finally out to Connecticut for round 3 of the Travelers Championship, and we've got some local flavor at the top of the leaderboard. Bubba Watson, even today, is now tied for first in a 3-way tie at 10 under. Now, Alabama's Justin Thomas, he made a big move today, just 4 strokes off the lead, and another former Tide player, Dickie Pride, tied for 59th at 2 over. And it's always good at Justin Thomas, an amateur. Obviously, it's cool to see him moving up the leaderboard and hopefully making a run for it. Never know.
All right, Lauren, thanks so much. Tonight on CBS 42 News at 10, you don't need to go to Las Vegas, New York, or LA to sample a meal from a 5-star chef. Tonight, our Chris Womack takes us into the kitchen of one of the world's best right here in Alabama. Plus, we'll have the latest on reaction to the Food Network dropping Paula Deen's cooking show after she confessed to using racial slurs. And no boys allowed. It's perhaps one of the most unique wishes ever requested by a 13-year-old girl. We'll be right back. We're continuing to follow 2 shootings in West Birmingham tonight. Our Chris Womack is live to bring us up to date on the latest in the investigation. Chris.
Shanice, we're receiving new information about the second incident that happened just blocks away from where we are right now. According to Sergeant Von Rick Slaughter with the Birmingham Police Department, the incident happened at 1117 Cotton Avenue when an argument between 2 acquaintances led to gunshots being fired. The victim is said to be in his mid to late 20s. He was taken to UAB. No word on his condition. The suspect is said to have fled the scene in a gold Nissan Maxima. And of course, this comes on the heels of what happened here at 824 Graymont Avenue West, where a 56-year-old man was shot during an attempted robbery. Those 3 suspects are also still on the loose. So stay with CBS 42 and CBS42.com for any updates to these stories. Shanice?
Chris, thank you, and be sure to join us tonight at 10 for the latest on that investigation as well.
Yeah, and it feels like summer outside now that we're officially into the season. Temperatures across the area in the mid and upper 80s from central Alabama, roughly from the I-65 corridor west. A few of you in the lower 80s, but it will be dry. There is no rain across our area and none expected through the night tonight. But I'll have more on the heat up headed our way if you missed it earlier coming up tonight at 10.
All right, Mark. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. We will see you tonight at 10.